Good afternoon, good morning from the International Federation of Catholic University in Paris. I'm very pleased to welcome you for the sixth episode of the IFCU BNL series. My name is Nicolas Vergier. I'm a partnership manager at the IFCU, and I'm very pleased to welcome you today on this special occasion. So just to give you some context, on the occasion of the IFCU century anniversary, the Federation has invited 4 university members in order to launch international exhibition host on a digital portal. I will share this digital portal page in the chat just before giving the floor to our colleague of the John Paul II Catholic University of Lublin. And this exhibition, digital exhibition, give us the opportunity, to discover artifacts and art from the collection of these 4 university members. So this artistic journey allow us to discover, for example, the collection of the Seton University in the US. After we went to Peru and to discover the treasure of the Pontifical Catholic University of Peru. And then we went to Macau in China at the encounter of the University of St. Joseph. And today, I'm very pleased to welcome our colleague of the John Paul II Catholic University of Lublin, knowing that this university has a museum, and this museum is very rich in terms of arts, in terms of history, have a very impressive collection that include over 2,000 objects, like documents, like artworks. And today we'll have the honor to know more about the collection of the KUL Museum. And for that, I'm very honored to share the floor with our 3 friends, but also 3 colleagues. Dr. Agnieszka Bender, which is the director of the KUL Museum. She will share the floor with Anna Spladzak-Novak, which is the curator of the KUL Museum, and also Dr. Przemysław Seglowski, which is a museum assistant. So during 45 minutes, our 3 colleagues will tell us more about the collection, the history, and what we can discover at the KUL Museum, knowing that thanks to the digital portal we have created, you can go and visit, in fact, the KUL Museum staying at home. So that's a very interesting experience. But today we will know more about the KUL Museum, and I won't talk more, and I will give the floor to our colleague of KUL Museum in order to present us their work and the museum. So welcome, Agnieszka, welcome, Anna, welcome.
Good morning, good evening.
To you.
Thank you very much for your invitation, first of all. And I will start a little bit. I would like to share some information about history of our museum. The Museum of Catholic University of Lublin has quite a long history, almost 100 years. The early days of the collection date back to 1932. Then, Reverend Jan Ładziński made a large donation containing to the university that, to quote an old document, a collection of historical memorabilia and specimens from various corners of the country. This included works of art, lots of old pictures, valuable antique furniture, decorative arts objects, as well as particular natural specimens. In subsequent years, the museum received further donations, mainly from private donors. Important among other was donation by the most famous Polish Egyptologist, Professor Kazimierz Michałowski, including almost 100 Greek Egyptian monuments from his excavation in Edfu. Unfortunately, this successful expansion ended with the outbreak of the Second World War. The whole collection was confiscated by the Germans in early December 1939. It became completely disappeared or even probably destroyed. After the war, an intensive search began. Unfortunately, only 3 photos of the museum you can see in our presentation these photos. In this presentation, we have all these 3 photos. Unfortunately, only 3 photos of the museum collection have survived. As it seems, just only 5 works of art survived the war, and a part of archives, several coins, and that's all. As the university was being revived after the Second World War, its pre-war traditions of the museum were also being restored. In additional impetus for the re-establishment of the collection was the opening of an art history faculty in 1945. With the commitment of the Catholic University's authorities and the extraordinary generosity of church and state institutions, as well as private individuals, museum gathered more than 2,000 artifacts through the post-war period. A special position belongs to the 1956 donation from the Wrocław Metropolitan Curia, which consisted of highly valuable works of medieval and modern Silesian art. Moreover, at the same time, the Central Board of Museum and Monuments Protection handed over to University Museum for scientific purpose sacred sculptures which had been previously deposited as nobody's property at the Central Museum in Kozłówka, administered by the Ministry of Culture and Art. The collection of the museum continued to expand following the purchases on the art market in the early 60s. Professor Rudolf Kozłowski, the chief conservator of Waber Royal Castle in Krakow, who also headed the Department of Technology since 1959, inspired the purchases of paintings by foreign masters, mainly from the Dutch and Italian schools acquired in auction house and gallery. Finally, the current status of the collection was shaped by several generous donations from artists and collectors. Among the former was a gift from famous Polish painters, for instance, Jerzy Nowosielski and Antoni Michalak. The most important donation so far from collector was a gift from Tadeusz Litawiński and his wife Olga, including more than 400 works of art and personal mementos, including a large collection of 19th and 20th century Polish painting and drawing, as well as decorative arts. It was donated to the museum in late 80s. The following should also be mentioned: a large donation by Stanisława and Tadeusz Witkowski, consisting of a valuable collection of Polish and foreign paintings, drawings, ceramics, and glass art. We have also obtained very valuable donation over the past 2 years. It was donation of dozens of paintings from Polish artist and collector Alicja Zadziorko from Zakopane. We recently received our first 2 valuable foreign donation too. The first is from France, from Max Hansen, and includes a collection of dozens of ceramic sculptures, drawings, and paintings by acclaimed Polish Jewish artist Halina Korn. The second and most recent gift is from Italy, from Francesca Cesci. It is a lady's handbag from 19th century, made using the embroidery technique with embossed silver clasps. Thanks to these donations, our museum can now boast of being the third university museum in Poland in terms of the size of its art collection after Krakow and Toruń. In its current format, the University Museum was established on 1st September 2016 as a result of consolidation of two museums unit, art collection and the University Museum of the History of the Catholic University of Lublin. The heterogeneity of the collection should be explained primarily by the turbulent history and the preferences of the donors themselves. Thank you. That's all for short history of our museum, and the activity of nowadays presents Anna.
And first of all, I want to ask you for a presentation you can follow. And first slides was about history. This pre-war museum in this black-white photos you can show us, because we can't see now.
You can see the screen.
We can see only first slide. Then
Second.
Now it's like second. This is pre-war museum. So next, please. This is also pre-war, and next will be our donations, donators. Next, please. One of these donators was like Anton Michalak and Jerzy Nowosielski artists. There are examples. And then our donors, Olga i Tadeusz Dawińscy, and then donors again, Stanisława and Tadeusz Witkowscy. Last donation, Alicja Zadziorka. Okay, and now my part.
Examples.
Okay, examples. Currently, the KUL Museum collections included over 2,000 objects, documents, historical and memorabilia, and most works of art, of course. Most precious collections are examples of medieval Silesian sculptures and foreign paintings, like you see in this slide, like Marten van Valcenborch, David Teniers the Younger, and the others. Regarding sculpture in our collections, we have about 60 sacred sculptures from 15th century to the 18th century. So in the next slide, you can see our examples of collection of sculptures, and next as well, this is in our exhibition. So you can see Baroque sculptures. A significant part of our collection constitute Polish paintings from the turn of the 19th century and 20th centuries, including famous Polish artists such as Jacek Malczewski, Jan Matejko, Jerzy Nowosielski, and many others. A special place in our collections is occupied by a quite large collection of arts and crafts, especially ceramics art and glass arts. We have examples of 18th, 19th, and 20th century porcelain from leading European manufacturers, including Meissen, Berlin, Thuringia, Vienna, but also English, Czech, Russian porcelain, as well as plates from Baranówka, one of the oldest Polish manufacturers. For example, we have a very world figurine of Mary Magdalene kneeling at the cross by Johann Joachim Kendler, and next slide will be about this. This is our porcelain as well, many of examples, and then this is Kendler, our very world precious artwork. Glass products also represent the diversity of European manufacture, among the others Polish Szklarska Poręba, Silesia. Also, we have bronze figurines come mainly from Germany, France, and Austria. And then after this slide, you can see that museum collections also includes dozens of liturgical vestments, chasubles, capes, liturgical paraments, and the others. We have, as I said, like about 80 this kind of part of this collection. Of course, historical objects require constant monitoring and conservation. We are successively restoring the most damaged paintings and sculptures. For example, we cooperate with the Jan Matejka Academy of Fine Arts in Krakow and the Nicolaus Copernicus University in Toruń. But we also raise funds for conservation through grants from our Ministry of Culture and National Heritage. So until now, we have all our sculptures, nearly all our sculptures are after conservation, and also some paintings. Our activities also focus on organizing exhibition, both in our museum headquarters and in other museums in our country. Also, of course, we publish exhibition catalogs and collection studies. And you have examples in our collection in other museums in this part of slides. This one and next one. So this is Polish painting, our artist, and next one will be also with porcelain in other museums, and then it's also in other museums. Next part of our collection, and then our posters, examples of our posters, and then our exhibition. And next one, some examples of our books, publication, catalogs from exhibition and studies. And now we have we start the historical parts of our collection. The historical part of our collection consists mainly of souvenirs of our Catholic University graduates, but also things connected with eminent figures. For example, as you see, Father Idzie Radziszewski, the founder of the KUL and first rector. And we have also some memorabilia with this connected with Father Idzie Radziszewski, as you can see, the breviary. Also about Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński and Karol Wojtyła, later Pope John Paul II. In the courtyard of the Catholic University in Lublin, there is a splendid monument depicting John Paul II and Cardinal Wyszyński. And we have two gypsum bozzetto of this monument in the museum collection. And next slide, you can see some archival photos, and one of them, the last one, have this including this bozzetto. So these two of this gypsum we have in our collection.
So our professor was the Pope John Paul II, and a little bit about him, some history presents Przemysław.
Pope John Paul II was very strongly associated with the Catholic University of Lublin. Karol Wojtyła, first as a priest assistant professor, then bishop, archbishop, cardinal, headed the Department of Ethics at the Faculty of Philosophy of the Catholic University of Lublin for more than 20 years. Karol Wojtyła began his work at the Catholic University of Lublin in October 1954 with lectures on ethics. By 1956, he was already head of the department and chair of ethics at the Faculty of Philosophy. He taught classes in the form of lectures, exercises, and seminars. He reconciled his scientific and didactic work with his priestly work and did not give it up despite his many responsibilities. He had a large circle of faithful friends and students at the Catholic University of Lublin who called him uncle during their summer trips together. He worked at the university until the famous conclave in October 1978. According to the recollections of people who knew him, he was a great teacher, discreet, not imposing his opinion, warmly aloof, respectful of the other person's thoughts, moreover, truly interested in what he was saying and who he was. He took the work of students seriously, as he did his own work. Karol Wojtyła, while a cardinal, continued to head the Department of Ethics. Unable to commute regularly, to Lublin, he invited his students to visit him. Since becoming a bishop, he had not taken a salary from the Catholic University of Lublin, and he used this money to provide scholarships for students and for his students to commute to Krakow. The first meeting in Poland between the community of the Catholic University of Lublin and a former employee who became Pope took place on 6 June 1979. In 1987, during his third pilgrimage to Poland, John Paul II visited Lublin and his former university. However, he often met with the staff of the Catholic University of Lublin at the Vatican or during his vacation at Castel Gandolfo. We have many mementos of our unusual professor at the Catholic University of Lublin, such as manuscripts, recordings, photographs, and documents, as well as a lectern with the original table at which he gave lectures, two papal thrones, and liturgical vestments used by him. The monument in the courtyard of the Catholic University of Lublin, commemorating historical meeting of John Paul II with Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński by Jerzy Januszkiewicz.
The next slide, please. Yes, this one.
The sculpture is inspired by the touching scene of John Paul II's meeting with Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński in Rome during the papal audience for Poles the day after the inauguration of the pontificate. While Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński spoke, the late Pope entered the auditorium and sat down in the armchair. After the speech, Stefan Wyszyński came closer to the Holy Father, who moved toward the primate and, embracing him, did not let him kneel.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, as we can see in the photo, you can see in the background behind the monument the entrance to our museum. You can also see the railing associated with the current renovation of the building. We hope to move into a new, larger premises in 3 years' time. But now, as we said, we currently holding temporary exhibition at other museums across the country in different cities in Poland. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for this presentation and for this element of context regarding the long history of the KUL Museum. I have a question. Maria Elisa, if you want to ask a question, you can also open your mic and ask directly your question, or if you prefer, you can just write down your question in the chat. So I have a question regarding the museum, knowing that the museum have a long history. What is the relation between the museum and the students, the student of the university? How is the relation?
Museum was founded for art history faculty. So it is a very comfortable situation for students to have such a possibility to come to the museum, to have some lectures, some exercises, practices, to see very closely to different objects, to touch them even. And I know, because I had such a possibility to work with students in museum, students like very, very much this kind of work. And I can say that it is only one museum, university museum in Poland with such a possibility, because our museum is the same building where the all departments of our university. So it is just some minutes for students to come in our museum.
And thank you for your reply. And how do you now involve the student community or the professor community with the museum? What are the connection, for example, with a professor and the museum? There is a research project, or the museum collection is used for research. What is the connection now with a professor, for example?
We have, as we said, we have lots of different objects of art, and of course we show also the picture of different books of catalogs using all these objects or some part of these objects, and in fact professors and different art historians work on this material. So it is very useful for this work, and it was the idea for our fundator, for our donator also, such a collaboration. It is really important, and it is very. I think that the museum is really very useful in different works with students and also scientific work. And also some students can use our artifacts for instance for their thesis, PhD, even PhD thesis. So, and we are open also for different institutions in Poland, for other museums, for other professors from different universities, not only just for our university.
Thank you, Agnieszka, for these details. I see that Maria Elisa wrote a comment in the chat. So she would like also to thank you very much for your presentation. And Maria Elisa is from the Catholic University of Avila in Spain. And Avila is a very known place in Spain, but also in Europe. It's a UNESCO heritage city. It's true, with quite famous with his walls, Maria Elisa, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing is, yes, it's interesting to have a possibility to have a partnership, a relationship between their university and your museum. So maybe that can be a good things to implement. Maria Elisa, you can share your email address in the chat, or after the webinar, I can share your contact with Agnieszka and her team. I think they will be, of course, interesting to discuss with you. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure for us.
And I would like, regarding the history of the university and the museum, I remember when we start to discuss together at the beginning of this, project of BNL, you were telling me that the university, of course, is has a museum. The university is one of the only one university having its own museum with religious artifacts. And how was the life of the museum during the Second World War, but during the communist time? How the university and the museum could preserve all these artifacts from this difficult time? Because that's very interesting also, because the university remained a Catholic university, if I understood well, during the communist time.
That's right. It was a very important role of Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński. He was a very strong man, And he was just after the Second World War Bishop of Lublin, but after on he became a cardinal. And of course, during this communist period, communists started to shut slowly university faculties, different faculties, and fortunately, Cardinal Van Wyszyński and other our bishops and rectors were so strong to be they wanted absolutely to
preserve, yeah, to protect
university, and also university was private a lot of years, so we received money from all the country, from lots of Polish people gave money to preserve this university. It was a private university, unique in this part of the world. So thanks of our clergy, thanks of our people, we survived.
Yes, yes, and you have an incredible collection and a very lively, living museum. Because as you said, I mean, the museum collection is also, you know, broadcast in different parts of the country. You have exhibition in different place, different city of the country.
Yes, because we have a small place to present our collections, but as I said, we do hope to have a bigger space in 3 years' time. But we want to show our treasure, and we work for it.
Yes, yeah, we can see it very clearly. All the work you do to preserve and to maintain this tradition, this, I mean, art tradition of the university. That's a very interesting moment that we are sharing with you. I mean, you are sharing with us, and I'm sure that will be for the one who will watch this webinar on the replay mode. I'm sure they will be they will find this your testimony, your presentation very inspiring. I don't know if Maria Elisa has another question or would like to share another comment with you. Well, thank you. I mean, we were able to create this web page thanks to with the support of Seton Hall University in US, who have created this with us this web page, and also they have collaborated with you, Agnieszka, in order to put some artifacts on the Google Arts platform, because that was the idea. In fact, of course, we'll all love, you know, to travel to Lublin and be able to visit the museum by ourselves. But, you know, for some of our members, it will be a long trip and it won't be so easy. So, in fact, with the digital tools that we find now, what we have today, we can, in fact, organize a digital visit of the museum through this web page.
So welcome.
Yes, I will share your contact, Maria Elisa, to our colleague from Lublin, and like that we will be able to discuss with them for potential collaboration. So I think it's time also to thank again our host of today, our guests, Agnieszka, Anna, and also all the team of the museum for this very interesting discussion and presentation, and to give us, you know, the honor to know more about the KUL Museum, which has a fantastic collection and history. So once again, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for once again for your invitation. It was absolutely pleasure to meet you, to share some information about our museum.
I would like also to thank Maria Elisa, and also just the last information. This webinar will be available as soon as possible, in like 3-4 days. The video will be available on the YouTube channel of the IFCU, and like that it will be possible for the one who can't attend today to watch this presentation, this webinar, and also maybe contact our colleague of the KUL Museum. So thank you to all of you. I wish you also a nice day and a nice weekend.
And for you, the same. Thank you very much, really.
So all the best, and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.